Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're new to my channel, I welcome you all. I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health and awareness and sharing my life story with Aspie syndrome and the like. And if you're liking any of these type topics that I may be sharing as of late, smash the like or feel free to subscribe down below as being part of the fan bam. And if doing this, you can feel free to also turn on the notification bell so you can keep up to date, because I'm hoping, as I said, to post this on the daily of everyday topics regardless what they are. So as promised, as I said before in one of my latest videos, I was thinking on doing one that is going to maybe cause a bit of a stir up with based on everybody's, you know, ideals, or shall we say their everyday debates on their food for thought about this. And this is going to be about based on, should there be a cure for autism? Just remember, bear in mind that some of this will be based on my experiences, knowledge, and just based on my own personal opinions, how I feel. So can you please respect what I'm about to share with you all, because obviously I'm going to bring it out to you. If anyone is autistic out there and, you know, want to answer these questions, should there be a cure? If so, why not? And would you want it to work if there was a cure, or are you just happy the way you are? This is what I want to throw at you today while I'm sharing this, and I'll share you guys my personal opinion as well. So let's begin this. As I said, this is going to be a big topic, so therefore basically, like, based on my own decisions, if there were cures for autism, however, will they actually work in the long run? However, what would these type cures will be? Even though cures is just a definition of it, from how I understand it, it's just like a quick fix of something to be fixed. But sometimes I feel that in my day and age, that if you want cures and you have proven to us that there has been a cure for your son or daughter that has autism, maybe prove it to us by maybe showing a document or what have you, because as we know, there are some autistics that would love to be normal regardless of all these different characteristic traits that they have that causes a bit of downside for them. They feel disheartened, and that some of them may embrace their autism and whatnot, you know. But then again, as I said so many times before, what is normal, you know? Normal is overrated these days, so therefore I have done a topic based on normal, and I'll link it in the bar above me as well as in the description if you would like to see more about my definition or what have you, or my talk about it. Yes, we know that many parents wishes for their son or daughter to be cured for their child, regardless what it may be, of an autistic or a person that suffers from some form of mental health condition, be it bipolar, schizophrenic, and the like. Yet, as we know, some of the big companies, or big head of what I don't want to actually discuss right now, is Autism Speaks, is trying to push for a cure sort of thing, and wanting to prove that it can be doable. But, you know, leading up to the American company is also the big pharmac deals of the pharmaceuticals that works under them, or what have you. But then again, as I said, so I also believe, this is just based on my opinion from what I understand, even though I don't want to go too much onto Autism Speaks, because I know there is a lot of autistics out there that doesn't, you know, want to hear this, but that's fine. But from what I can gather, okay, like, Autism Speaks has been giving out misinformation in some parts, from what I believe, of what causes autism to start off with. Some of it they think, or trying to feed into the parents to really scare them, is that it's the vaccines that is given to the kids, even though I believe basically it's all comes down to the way, the genetic wiring, how we are, and maybe the environment plays a key role as well in saying this. That's all I'm going to say on that. They are scaring, mongering the parents to the degree of, oh, we need to cure them, oh, we need to basically, you know, and stop giving them injections and whatnot to stop them getting this autism sort of thing. But although I've also shared about, like, autism vaccines, which I'll link that also in the description as well as above me right now too, if you would like to find out more to what I shared there. But as we know, autism will vary from person to person. Okay, there's the high functioning versus the low functioning of autism, even though I don't wish to use those two terms, but there's the best way I can explain it to you guys right now, from what I can recall, from what I've shared with you guys. Even though now, like, autism, Asperger's syndrome, especially since I've got it, is on the actual diagnostic manual framework as classified it as an autism spectrum disorder. So it's a spectrum of different forms of autism in that disorder. You know, autism will vary from person to person, however, for sure, if their traits, and their personalities and whatever else they may show. As I said, autism is based on the everyday wiring, on how it works, the neurons versus, you know, the actual nervous system, and that's similar to what, you know, depression and all that is like. The question is that, if you want to know, basically, before I continue on, you may be thinking, do I want a cure for my Asperger's syndrome? No, I'm quite happy the way I am. It's made me to what I am today. Without this, basically, you know, of these everyday struggles I go through, I wouldn't be able to manage them or being able to just learn from my mistakes and whatnot. I'm just now, at this point of my life, is just grasping it with my bare hands and actually showing pride, wearing it a pride of honour, here say. Yes, like many of you, I do have my difficulties and weaknesses of certain parts of my life, of my struggles, but as I said, it's all about managing it every day. This comes down to, with that, having the right people around me and the right support network around me with the right, how we put it, with the right attitude and right kind of thinking, because obviously if you don't have those type of support networks, they're not worth knowing about, even though it's sad but true. Autism, yes, is part of an everyday personality for most of us, yet looking at it on a whole scheme of things, basically, the question is there certain areas we can benefit in being cured if there was a cure? But then, that's what I want to throw at you. But then there's these grey areas or blurry lines that comes across it of what is the aspect of what you want to be cured, who will be cured, and the effects of being cured, and the list goes on of all these everyday questions that still probably is unanswered to some people, you know. I wanted to put it as a light on this because there are some children that can't make a decision for themselves. However, they're non-verbal for the ones that are diagnosed with autistic, so therefore the parents will have to play a real big key role of the decision making for the cure if they want to, you know, cure their child of some kind. But that's, again, their choice. Again, choice plays a role here too. Do they want it as a change or just a quick cure or what have you? Another thing I'm looking at also is when it comes down to the cure of autism, what would happen with some of those traits that we have in us or what have you that does, or shall we say the symptoms, would it fully go away? Like, you know, lacking of communication skills, the lacking of maybe say social skills, or the lacking of just the ability of making friends in relationships, you know, what would happen there? But most of these are everyday learned. You know, we teach ourselves how to go about it by maybe, I don't know, watching some stuff on YouTube versus basically maybe just observing everyday people's behaviours and just trying to follow on that cue, even though we may not be good at reading behavioural cues or body language from people. But then again, I want to share, out of the big company of Autism Speaks that people don't like hearing about, did try to find a cure. Do I really want to train my autism, or shall we say my Asperger's syndrome, for a cure? The skills I've learnt, I believe, may get lost in translation. Will I lose the ability to remember certain times and events like I know? Will I be able to recall certain, you know, facts here and there and whatnot? Will I be losing the ability of feeling empathetic / having these emotions that I have, you know, even though, in saying this, will I lose the ability at looking at some things objectively on the two-sided coin feature to be able to problem solve, here say, as another food for thought for you guys. All the diagnosis you hear today like autism, ADHD, dyslexia, etc. contributes into our lives regardless, even though it is in the genetics, sad to say, you know, gotta allow for that. But there has been negative images or negative assumptions about what people are like on the autism spectrum. I was researching up in the late 1990s, there was a lady by June Singer brought out the term called neurodivergent. From the Urban Dictionary, neurodivergent is defined as a person who has a developmental disorder, such as maybe a mental health disorder or something like autism, hearsay, and or a mental illness, as I just clearly shared. But in saying this, basically with the neurodivergence, they do have like talents and abilities just like anybody else. I believe in, like, we need to try and sway off the perception of removing the disorders and impairments of these atypicals, because everybody has an impairment of some kind or their weaknesses and stuff, not just us, you know, normal everyday Aspies, autistics and the like. There has been words and ideas used from these everyday terms, be it atypical, neurodivergent versus neurotypicals and that. But who am I to say to debate putting labels on people? Am I about to put labels on people? No, I am not. Labels shouldn't be there. But labels and diagnosis can be a starting point to actually find a way to manage and treat these everyday conditions that we go through. People that are different, for example, that are radical thinkers, people aren't, you know, only capable of radical and creative thinking, basically, but they can have other skill sets that can bring out in the workforce, basically, if you had the right, you know, tools, accommodation, and everything else for that person. We all need people that aren't, you know, held back to a natural convention, people who aren't afraid of expressing everyday ideas, people who aren't afraid of the backlash of people that, you know, are based on the everyday personal situation. To a certain extent, however, neurodivergence drives innovation. Nurturing neurodivergence, we may need to, how I look at it, look at the everyday workplaces, schools, health systems and whatnot to change the way of thinking versus just to help those people like me that are Aspies versus, you know, autistics to feel comfortable and to include them in the everyday activities, because I've noticed that some autistics hasn't been included in some everyday activities. They basically at this point of time have been let down and not being included in the groups due to maybe a lot of reasons to why they're not being included in their everyday groups. We need to value the ones that are neurodivergent and not, you know, invalue them, if that makes sense. We should be enabling them, not disabling them, being able to help and stuff. Many differences, however, regardless who and what we are overlooked. We need to own who and what we are, be it autistic, Aspies, or anybody for that matter, I believe. We have so much to offer in society for these neurodivergents of autistics and Aspies, but it's just a matter of finding the right people. I reckon now is the time to actually recognise the tasks and abilities, you know, not the shortcomings or our disabilities or what have you. I believe it's time to remove the perceptions and attitudes of the everyday mental health problems that are at every level sort of thing. And I believe also there's a time to nurture us best out and just reaching out to us and helping us in one way or another. So to conclude this, I want to throw this back at you for questions of discussion. Again, should there be a cure? Okay? But my answer to this in the shortcoming, yes, if you choose to, there is a choice, yes or no. Up to you guys. But me, no. Question to throw at you is another one, is question number 2. Do you want a cure for autism? If so, if you've got autism, what parts do you want to get rid of, or what parts are you happy about yourself that, you know, that you want to just keep on and actually what have you. So this quickly ends a real short brief overview on my uptake should there be a cure for autism. Smash the like, comment below, feel free to share these videos around to family and friends, feel free to, as I said before, subscribe if you haven't done so already, because as I said, I'm hoping to do this on the daily Monday to Friday. If not, it'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 days a week. Feel free to turn on the notification bell so you can keep up to date with my new videos when they come up. So, and also to the guys, follow me on my social social medias that are listed in the description below if you want to. Also, feel free to PM me on one of those social medias if you want to talk to me. I don't bite, you know, or even just private message me on my YouTube channel. There should be a little part where you can just private message me if you want to. So enough further ado, guys. Thanks for support, thanks for watching. Do what you love what you do. Until next time, Aspie signing out, and I'll see you again soon. Ciao for now.